Hi everyone. In today's video I'm going to show you how to use the really pretty blue tissue paper that comes in the Stampin' Up! Kit every month from Paper Pumpkin. And we're going to make a card together, and then I'm going to show you 4 cards that I made using this technique, and they are really pretty. And I'm also going to show you another card that I forgot to show you in the last video. And if you didn't see the last video, you can check it out below. I'll leave the link in the description. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some mint macaron ink, and we're going to use the leaf stamp that came in the kit for April. And before I start, I just want to say that I ironed my tissue paper with an iron, but you don't have to do that because there are always some nice flat pieces that you can cut out from the kit. It's just I like to iron, and so I just happened to iron it. But you could also use it crinkly. I'm sure that would turn out fine too. So all we're going to do is just ink up the stamp and very lightly press down on the paper. And what I noticed is it was easiest to turn the paper as I went rather than turn the stamp. If I just kept turning the paper, it seemed like the design turned out better. And another thing was I like to keep the images from overlapping. I didn't really like it as much when they overlapped, so we're just going to keep them, I mean, it's a random pattern, but at the same time I'm keeping them an equal distance from each other. And I continue to turn the paper just so that they're not all facing the same way. Now, another thing I want to show you before we go on is that if you're doing this on a work surface that you like, you might want to be careful because I'm not sure if the video can pick it up, but this is actually going through the tissue paper because the tissue paper is so thin, it will go through. And if you're not working on a surface that, like I am, where it's easy to clean, you might want to take that into consideration. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to rip it lightly. And you're going to rip it. You have to be careful when you're ripping it. You almost want to guide where you're ripping it until you get a section that's about the size of a card front. At first, if I was doing this for the first time, if I was you, I would start with a larger section than you might want, just so that you can rip it down a little. You can play with it after, just so that you don't tear off too much. And what this does is it just creates a really nice torn paper look. And it looks really nice when you're finished. And I've already got a piece here that I've torn to the, you're going to have to play with yours a little bit, but I tore this to the exact dimensions that I wanted for this card. And I'm not sure if you can see, but I have put those little dots of adhesive that you get in the kit. I've put them all over the back, and I've put them where the leaves are darkest. And I left one just to show you, but I'm going to pull it off. And I don't think they're going to show through because they're just so small. I really like those adhesives. And then I'm just going to lay it down flat, and I'm just going to flatten it out like this. And by the way, I want to show you some examples of other colors I used. This one is the color that came with the kit. This is Balmy Blue. This one is Calypso Coral. I can never remember if it's Coral Calypso or Calypso Coral. I'm still learning my Stampin' Up! Names. This is Daffodil Delight. I really like this one. This is Petal Pink. And this is Mint Macaron, like we just used here. The one I have on my card is Garden Green. So we're just going to smooth it out like this, and then we're just going to trim the edge. Now, you could even rip I mean, it really depends on the look you're looking for. You could rip it at the top too, but I wanted my panel to have some space on either side, and I also wanted it to be flush with the top. But it's not an exact science because it is a ripped piece of paper. And then I'm going to bring in these pieces of corrugated paper that we got in the kit. And I'm just going to use this as a backdrop. And I've already put my adhesive on here. We're just going to lay them down. You could pop these up with a pop dot if you wanted to, or a dimensional as Stampin' Up calls them. And I just think that this makes the prettiest paper for layering. You could use this for layering on almost any card. And you could use it with almost any stamp, obviously. I mean, you don't have to use this leaf stamp. You could use your butterfly stamps or anything. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring in the flower from the kit, and I heat embossed it with gold. And I'm just going to place it here. I'm going to center it a little bit. And then I have a card front that I've already added adhesive to. See if I can get this straight. Well, not too bad, I guess. All right, and there's your finished card. And isn't that just the prettiest look with this background paper? And you, like I said, it's up to you which stamp you use or which colors you use, and you can have a lot of fun with this. Now I'm going to show you some other cards I made, and I just love them. I really love these cards. This one, I used the Daffodil Delight, and I cut out a butterfly from the Botanical Butterfly paper the designer series paper. And here's one of the other sentiments from the stamp set. Now for this one, it's a rose, obviously, and I'm going to show you how to make that too. Now for this one, what I did was I cut out longer strips of paper, and all I did was I held it with my left hand, because I'm right-handed, and I just sort of kept holding it at the middle and sort of tightly pulling it around and fashioning it into a rose. I mean, I was tightly holding it, but at the same time I'm not smushing it too much. And you see how easily this becomes a rose shape? I mean, it's really simple. You can just play with it a little bit. You can make it as big or as small as you like. And then I just took a dot of adhesive and put it on the back, and that was it. I had a rose. You can make it, like I said, I made a bigger one. This one's not actually finished, but I mean, it doesn't matter what size you use. You could have 2 roses or 3, and it's just so simple. And this card I just left really clean and simple. I just took my pencil and drew a line here. I added the leaf stamp again, and I used that little sentiment that came in the kit. Now for this one, I did what we were doing before, but then I just die cut out with my stitched rectangle die for a little backdrop for this sentiment here. And this was very simple to do. Like, it just took no time at all. And this one, all I did was I used that image from the stamp set that looks like this, and I just went over the background, and I just added one little piece of this paper that we just made. It just adds a little touch to the bottom. And then, oh, by the way, last video I asked for your help, and thank you very much to the ladies who answered and helped me out. So I took your advice and I heat embossed the sentiment and I used yellow. So thanks a lot for your help. And here's the other card that I forgot to show you last week. It's using all the kit contents except for this sentiment comes from the Tropical Chic stamp set. Okay, so thanks so much for joining me, and next time I'm going to show you a card, how to make a card with my very favorite Stampin' Up stamp set ever, and it's retiring, and I'm very sad about that. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks so much. Bye.